Hey team, this is Jacob, and it's Tuesday, Training Tuesday. I just wanted to talk upon a subject that my wife Dee and I were tasked to discuss today with the team. Unfortunately, though, Dee is sick and was not able to join me. I'm at my office here. This is our conference room. And so she wrote out what she would like to share, and I'll give my 2 cents in all of it, but we're excited to be able to share this time with you, share in some insight for our seasoned team members, people who have been on the team for over a year or so, and then also for our new ones we're so excited for and look forward to seeing you guys grow and develop within our team. We are speaking today about communication and the importance of communicating within the team, the importance of how we communicate, what we communicate, and in what timely manner we communicate. One of the things, I'll just jump right in here to avoid this video being too long, is, for example, conflict. Something that arises among teams. We're all humans, we all have different personalities, we all clash at different times for different reasons, whether we don't agree with how things are done or said, or whatever it might be. The main thing we want to point out is if you have any issues with someone on the team, or if you have any concerns that are team related, instead of just talking amongst yourselves, in a sense gossiping and letting it create a toxic environment between you and even the person that you're sharing it with in regards to whoever you're sharing about, just go ahead and bring it up to one of the leads and discuss it, address it right off the bat. Don't let it become something more than it needs to be. The last thing we want is for feelings to get hurt, for there to be any kind of just ill feelings amongst each other. We're a team, we're a family. So if issues need to get resolved, let's resolve them quickly. For girls, you have Dee, Delilah, Elizabeth, Raina, and Karina. Great women of faith, great women of insight. So if you have any issues with any team member or anything like that, those would be your contacts. For guys, you can go to myself, Luigi, Jose Escobar, Danny, or Trev. And obviously if things, progress, and hopefully they don't, but if they need to be, for Ormo to be brought into it, then we would do that. And if it needs to escalate to Pastor Brian or Pastor Louis, and then hopefully not, but if it then needs to even escalate to Pastor Josiah, then that'll get addressed in, that ladder, if you will. But your initial contacts are for women, Dee, Delilah, Elizabeth, Raina, and Karina. And for guys, it's Jacob, Luigi, Jose Escobar, Danny, and Trevor. The next thing I want to discuss, which Omar kind of brought up already on a previous post, is social media, communicating on social media. His was a little bit more on just limiting what we post on social media that could come off as self-promotion, if you will. Mine's is more of just as a team being careful of what we communicate and how we communicate on social media, realizing that because we are what we call a platform ministry, that there's eyes on us at all times, not just when the lights are on us, but people follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you name it, and nowadays you can see a lot of the activities that an individual is up to. So be very careful of what you're liking, what you're seeing, what you're posting, what you're sharing, because you are not just representing yourself, you're representing us as a team, you're representing your leaders, you're representing your pastor, and the church. So we definitely want to be able to make sure that we're communicating positive messages in everything that we do, because we are a representation and extension of our church. So be careful with that. There was a saying that, or a little song that was taught to me when I was a kid in Spanish, but translated as, be careful little eyes of what you see, be careful little ears of what you hear, be careful little mouth of what you speak. And it definitely does still hold true that, we as a team who's in a very platform ministry, regardless, in our walk with Christ, we should definitely be mindful of what we're watching, what we're speaking, what we're saying, and posting. Scheduling is the next one here. Excuse me as I'm keep scratching my nose and stuff, but fighting some allergies and my nose is itching. Anyways, scheduling. You guys have been great as far as giving us block out dates. It's been helpful to schedule around that. But one thing we say as well, Omar has mentioned, and we just want to echo, is that your minimum shouldn't be your maximum. So, although we respect and we realize that a lot of the team members have families, a lot of team members have activities outside of church, whether it be softball games for their kids or you name it. There's life outside of what we do on a weekly. We do want to encourage everybody on the team that we decided to be all in when we joined this team. So don't abuse the block out date time. We understand that there's birthdays, that there's things that you definitely have to be on, but we try to be fair on how many times we schedule people and not overly schedule people, and it creates a very difficult situation for us to schedule for Dee and myself when we have people who are blocked out so much, and then we have to overschedule other people in order to fill those positions. So with that said, again, appreciate the communication as far as that for those who have. There's still those who do not do blockouts, and I just want to encourage you to please let us know that stuff ahead of time, because if we schedule you, it's because we're depending on that position to be filled by you. And if all of a sudden you decline it, then that creates another thing that we have to, another solution that we have to fill. It creates more work on our end, because now we have to find a replacement for that position that you were supposed to be in because you didn't say that you couldn't. So that's why it's important to communicate that info ahead of time. Along with being scheduled, the one thing I definitely want to emphasize on is communicating when you're not going to be able to show up to a scheduled time. Let's call it a shift. We understand that people get sick, kids get sick and all that stuff, but for the most part, well ahead of time if you're not going to be able to make it to a service. So if you're scheduled on Sunday, if you're feeling sick on Saturday, especially by like Saturday 5 or 6 o'clock, you should know and feel if you're going to be able to make it the next day or not. So we ask, for the sake of honoring the other team members on your team, that you find your replacement then and there, and not wait till late at night on Saturday for a Sunday morning call and then relay it to the team leads to say, hey, I can't make it, can you find a replacement? I just want to be straightforward as I can with it, and still, but I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but it's your responsibility to find a replacement for your position if you've been scheduled for a service time. We've mentioned it on GroupMe that like a lot of times people will post on there, hey, I can't make it today, whatever, who can fill in, kind of thing. But again, the importance here is the time in which we do it. Don't wait till the last minute to post that you need a replacement, because people make their schedules if they're not scheduled. They're not planning to be there at 7:30 in the morning on a Sunday, and if they hear from you that you need them to fill in at 10:30 at night the night before, it's not really honoring them and their time either. Same with Wednesdays. If you know that you're not going to be there on time because of work or anything like that, you don't realize that you're going to be that late at 5 o'clock when you're going to be late. It's like you get an idea of, hey, it's going to be a late night in the office around 3-4 o'clock. So, reach out to find replacements for yourselves around that time, just to give us all enough time to adjust and enough time to be able to know, who's stepping in or who's not going to be able to make it, kind of thing. So really important. It's EHC is definitely emphasized when it comes to scheduling and meeting your shifts. And we're just calling them shifts for the sake of conversation, but we want to be excellent in everything that we do. We want to honor the team members that are on this team with us, and we want to fulfill our commitments. So if you've, said that you're going to be there, then be there. If not, then find a replacement for someone to be there for you. And with that, I just want to lead to like a chain of command. Omar is definitely our director. He's the one who oversees everything. And under him are a list of leads who help with the day-to-day tasks, day-to-day issues that might come up, just so he doesn't feel so overwhelmed with everything that's going on and that's on top of what he has. For those who don't know, he's not just our main director, music director, but he is also the creative director of the church. So with that, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that we normally don't see that takes a lot of his time and energy and thought. So that's why we're here. So if you have, with that chain of command, singers, if you have questions as far as harmonies, what parts to sing, you need someone to help you find them and stuff, Karina is your girl. She is our vocal coach, and she loves to be able to help you guys out. We understand that, our skill level as far as singers ranges from people who can find their parts really easily to people who need a little bit of help. Totally okay, doesn't matter where you are in the spectrum. She's here to help you out. If she's not available for whatever reason, then you can reach out to me. I am more than happy to assist as well whenever I can, but Karina is your main girl. Vocal technique, how to sing, proper vocal technique and all that stuff. Your contact person for that is Reina. She is our vocal director. Questions about band related things, those will be your campus MDs. Luigi is the campus MD for Costa Mesa. Trevor is the campus MD for Fullerton. So those will be your contacts for that. There's questions about scheduling, that would be myself and my wife Dee. Questions about team activities would be Liz and Jose Escobar. They've been doing a fantastic job with that. Questions about Alive, you can go to Trevor, Darlene, or Alexa. With all that. Questions about kids worship, it'd be Karina is your contact for that. And if none of us are getting back to you, none of the leads, then you can go ahead and reach out to Omar. But for the most part, all questions, issues, concerns should be able to be resolved by your leads. If you're feeling like you just need to chat because you're going through something really deep, in the beginning of the year, a lot of us were going through pretty emotional, trying times with depression, anxiety, things like that. Then, we have a team therapist. We jokingly call her a team therapist, but she is actually a therapist, like licensed and stuff. And that is Delilah. Delilah is full of wisdom and is able to communicate in such a great way to be able to do all that. And any questions regarding sound or anything like that, it would be myself and Matt Helms. And another thing that we just want to end with is in communication. We're a team of a lot of males and a lot of females, and we just want to remind you guys to keep it. If you need to communicate female with female, male with male. If a male needs to communicate with the female about something out of respect for their spouses, which most of the team members are married, or vice versa, if a female needs to contact with a male, we just ask that you include one of your leads in the conversation, just as a safety net, if you will, just to eliminate anything from negative thing that might come out of it. Not saying that it will, but it just sets the playing field straight and gives everybody accountability and all that stuff. So again, try to limit it. Guys communicate with guys, girls communicate with girls. If you need to cross paths at some point, just make sure that there is a witness there within the conversation. All right, love you guys, and hopefully this helped answer some questions, and see you guys this week.